We were there at the beginning, reporting a year ago on the blissful rollout of legal weed.
It's part of history.
We spoke with Governor John Hickenlooper, who opposed the new law but had to implement it.
I think most of us recognize that this is going to be one of the great social experiments of the next century.
Today, that experiment is very much a work in progress.
But when you're doing it for the first time, there's no template.
Some things work, some don't. But know this, there's money being made. Colorado is now home to more than 500 pot stores. One of the biggest is called Medicine Man.
Here's an industry that doesn't even exist in Colorado 5 years ago. 5 years later, you have cloud technology
state of the art
to operate your grow rooms.
Yeah.
Right.
It's been a wild ride, I gotta tell you.
Yeah. We're not a bunch of stoners sitting around in tie-dye t-shirts, smoking
pot.
pot.
Yeah.
That is a true American industry.
Andy Williams and his sister, Sally Vanderveer, along with their brother Pete, run the company. Their high-tech grow facility produces 120 pounds of pot a week.
How you doing? Welcome to Medicine Man, brother. Thank you.
We do more business out of this one location than anybody else. We're opening a second that's going to do more business than this location. And we are drinking from a fire hose.
They are pioneers in the bewildering wilderness of legal weed. The federal government still views marijuana as a Schedule I drug, so most banks won't come near it.
Can you bank yet? Do you have a relationship with a bank?
That's a really good story. We've lost countless banks.
We've lost a lot of banks. So
You know, a bank kicked us out after we sent a check to the federal government for our taxes this year.
they shut
April
us down
14th.
April 14th.
Yeah.
They can't bank drug money, but the state can. For 2014, Colorado will collect roughly $50 million in taxes on sales that topped $500 million. It's boom time in the capital of cannabis.
We did about $4.5 million last year.
What do you think you're going to do this year?
A little over $9 million. Yeah.
Double in 1 year.
Yep.
And then next year probably
18.
An eighth and an eighth.
Medicine Man opened its doors in 2010 as a medical marijuana dispensary on the outskirts of Denver.
You're in the middle of a warehouse district in the middle of nowhere.
Location.
Yeah.
And we screwed that up.
And yet everybody's here.
That bad location and some good timing came together in a happy accident.
I would suggest my Blue Dream. It's a really good 60-40 split hybrid.
We're the closest dispensary to the airport.
Yeah.
So people land and they drive here and they come here first and then they go up the mountains and have a good time. So about 60% of our sales are tourists.
So how long are you guys in town for?
A couple more days.
People are getting to be connoisseurs in Colorado. They want to have a large selection, and they want to try something that smells like cheese and something that's like wine.
Medicine Man has thrived by satisfying the palates of aficionados.
But this bucket, good dense buds, $30,000.
Pete Williams runs the growing operation, cultivating up to 70 different strains at a time.
This is the Girl Scout cookies. Oh, that just hits you in the face. It smacks you. It's a little bit fuely, a little bit skunky. It's got a little of everything in there, and it just tastes so good. And the high on this one is more towards that top end high, the maximum high. I personally smoke this most nights. It's my favorite.
An estimated 33 million Americans used marijuana in 2013. That's up nearly a third from a decade ago. Since Colorado led the charge for legalization, 3 more states and the District of Columbia have followed suit. And nearly half the country now allows medicinal marijuana.
It's clearly the fastest growing industry in the country.
Troy Dayton leads Arcthea, a cannabis-focused investor group.
In 2013, the size of the national legal cannabis market was about $1.5 billion, growing in 2014 to $2.6 billion.
At a sprawling marijuana business expo in Las Vegas, he said ancillary companies are cashing in.
All right, let's see, what do we got here?
Mark Twain had a really great quote. He said that when there's a gold rush on, it's a good time to be in the pick and shovel business. And that is clearly happening right now.
You can see it on the streets of Denver, where gun-toting guards in armored cars protect the currency of the new marijuana merchants. Dan Sullivan's Blue Line Security Company can't train people fast enough.
We went from 6 employees to over 70, so that gives you an idea of in 8 months what we've done.
And at Grow Big, a garden supply center for the cannabis trade that's living up to its name. Sales have quadrupled in the past year.
We started 800 square feet less than 4 years ago. We're at 50,000 square feet, and we're not stopping there.
Owner Oliver Poyce hosts a weekly customer meet and greet with free pot, catering to a clientele with nocturnal habits.
This community is night owls. We're open 24 hours a day, every day of the year. We never close. I don't even have a key to the front door.
2014 launched Poyce and many others on a trip from the margins of society to the mainstream.